So you clicked on this video because you want to find out how you can help a family member with breast cancer. Well, for one, you could stop asking us how we're feeling.
Why do you act like that?
Like what?
The way that you act, you don't see how you act, why people don't want to be around you?
No.
Look how you act.
Hi breast friends, welcome back to my channel where we discuss openly and without judgment the beautiful chaos that is living with breast cancer. My last video was a chit chat, get ready with me, where I discussed how I broke the news to my family and friends. I even placed some voice recordings of them telling me how they felt when I initially told them. And I also give some insight into my philosophy behind why I think it's important to talk about cancer, or why I think cancer should not be a secret. And you already know, if you haven't seen that yet, I recommend watching it first. I will link it right here, or you can check it out in the description box below. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can support family members or friends who may have recently been diagnosed with cancer or are currently undergoing treatment. So let's get into it. The first thing I mentioned in the beginning of the video is stop asking us how we're feeling. And I say this because the response is probably going to be generic, a half-truth, or a full-on lie. Now, I'm not saying that you should absolutely never ask anyone how they're feeling, but just be prepared for one of those three types of responses. But if you do ask and by some miracle we feel inclined to respond, try listening without feeling that you have to respond. Sometimes we just want to vent without having to feel burdened by your opinions. Because some of us have really strong opinions and we feel a need to always share them. Yeah. I'm not laughing because it's me. I'm laughing because it's you. Some of you need your opinions to be heard. And I don't know if it's for validation or... I don't know.
I don't know.
So your unsolicited opinions on things like diet and exercise and vitamins and herbal remedies and therapies and any other medical advice, you can keep it. Yeah. Unless the patient or your family member or friend overtly express their interest, or you have it on good grounds that they are lacking that knowledge, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, a lot of this advice is really highly dependent on the person with whom you're dealing. There are people who will be receptive to the information that you give, but you really don't have to bombard them with all of that information because people are different. Some of us are very open and jovial and talkative, and others are just timid and they keep to themselves and they're not as willing to share. In that case, you have to learn to respect their silence or their unwillingness to converse. Sometimes we just simply want to escape our reality. For me, that involved binge watching TV series, watching movies, listening to music, and my personal favorites, playing The Sims. So escapism tends to be a huge aspect of a cancer patient's lifestyle. Understandably so. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a solo act. We don't have to do it on our own. You can choose to be present and spend time with your family member or friend. Maybe schedule a visit. Emphasis on schedule, because you cannot just show up to our houses on a whim. For me, I had to make sure that my head was wrapped and I was properly clothed, and whether I even felt like conversing on that particular day. And that's not even indicative or suggestive of vanity or selfishness. I'd say it's more of a courtesy that works in your favor, of course. Personally, I didn't want my friends and my family to see me looking disheveled and bald and patchy hair like I had in the last video. And I didn't want my friends and family to think that I was sick and dying and oh my gosh, Shanne, she's not looking too good. And I definitely did not want to evoke those emotions. But of course, there have been days when I felt like I didn't want to do anything or go anywhere or talk to anyone. And my parents and my siblings and even my auntie Diana, they would support my sentiments because for me, they knew it would be a temporary thing. It's definitely not in my nature to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy. Who are these people? But if your family member or friend feels dejected, feels negative or withdrawn, how do you then get them out of that rut? Consider making them feel special and appreciated and loved. You can bring them their favorite foods, buy them an item of clothing, a trinket you bought in a variety store that reminded you of them, or even send them a card and have all your relatives sign it. You know, like the smallest gesture you can think of will indubitably brighten up their day or even put a smile on their face. Now, on the topic of gestures, that could also equate to offering to run errands for them or help them with their household chores. And I say offer because they may not necessarily feel like they want to ask. And that's okay, right? Yes, it's okay. It's okay. In my case, my mother and my aunt would always be able to identify when I had really low energy levels because I wouldn't want to do anything for myself because generally I am a very self-sufficient person. And of course I had to come to terms with, you know, the fact that, okay, it's not my fault that I feel lethargic or exhausted and I don't feel like doing a thing. So when the time came for them to offer help, I definitely said yes. I was very comfortable with that. And if all else fails, if you cannot run my errands for me, you cannot help me with my chores, you cannot spend time with me, and for some reason you cannot have a conversation, money talks. Okay, yeah. You can cut a check. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, whatever app you use, MoneyGram. I will gladly stand up outside going places in the hot sun to get my cash. Okay? The options are limitless. Okay. I'm joking. You don't have to send me money. Please. I did not ask for it. But if you see someone with a GoFundMe page or any other crowdfunding platform that's used nowadays, honey, you need to run them that money. Okay. She's a rapper. Yeah. But on a serious note, you need to send them money if you can. The little 1 EC, 1 US, 1 euro, 1 pound, whatever your currency is, the little $1 something you have in your bank account and making dust, that if it went missing, you wouldn't even notice, you can send it across to them. Because that person or that person's family and friends had to muster up the courage to do two things. First, let the condition be known to the whole world. Second, solicit financial assistance from strangers. But I know times are hard, so even if you couldn't personally make a monetary contribution, you could send the link to someone else, a friend who you know for sure would be able to help. When it comes to cancer treatments, a little goes a long way because it's expensive, darling. Okay, when you see people have the little barbecues, the fundraising dance, if you could contribute $1, $5 in whatever currency you have, trust me, that person will be eternally grateful to you. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the solidarity shave. Is it offensive? Is it clout chasing? Or does it actually have the capacity to appease a cancer patient? In the meantime, everyone, check your breasts and check your pecs. Okay.